Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Bacon. Welcome to the show, y'all. Look here, y'all. Old folks, old head folks, and then play this role to the T. Play this role to the T. Now, him and Max Skunk, they back in the unit. They talking. Max Skunk thanking him for helping him out and making sure that he didn't get flipped and all this and that, right? So, folks telling him, look, everything I did for you got a cost on it. You're going to have to continue to do what you do now because you got to pick a side, and you already have. So he's sitting there, he's listening to folks, and he's looking at him, but he's having a hard time processing what he's being told because he's looking at him, and it's almost like folks telling him to play ball with the administration. It's almost like he's telling him to play ball with the administration. He don't understand what's being said. He don't want to continue to do this. In fact, he's thinking about quitting the job. And he tell old head folks that. Old head folks tell him, no, you can't do none of that. You can't do none of that at all. You feel? He said, how do you think you got that job? So Max Skunk looked at him. He said, man, all I know is that the job coordinator called me down and offered me the job and stuff and gave me a couple of days to think about it. He said, no. He said, no, I gave your name to IA. I thought you'd be a good candidate for this job. So now folks looking at him, he's confused, he's torn, he don't understand what's being said. He said, what you mean you gave him my name? He said, bruh, he said, I've been doing this for a long time. I can tell who's strong and stand on what they say, and I can tell who will bend. And bro, you a bend. He said, so I bended you in a way that benefited me. So now Max Skunk looking at him, right? He getting mad, angry, enraged, in fact. He said, what you mean by that, bro? Ain't nothing weak about me. He said, no, I ain't call you weak. That ain't what I said. If I call you weak, I'm saying I'm weak. So Max Skunk, he caught that. He ain't slow now. He said, what you mean by that, though? He said, man, look, I had to have somebody in that position that can do things to benefit me. See, I've been working for the administration for years, right? So now Max Skunk looking at him, he's like, what you mean, folk? It's almost as if he didn't hear it. He's giving him an opportunity to repeat what he just said, and he said it again. I've been working for the administration for years. But see, the last D-board dude, he got flapped. And they wanted me to pick somebody. And I picked somebody within the ranks. Because they want to know what folks in them is doing. And you gonna be the key to that. So he looked at folks, he said, I can't do that. And folks said, you gotta do it now, because if you don't do it, I'm gonna let everybody know. I'm gonna let everybody know, and I'm gonna take the violation that come with it, that you told me everything. And I'm gonna make sure that your name get leaked through IA, that you're a rat. So folks sitting there, it's almost like a paralyzation that come over. He can't move, and he looking at him, he angry, he mad, and he want to do something to him, but he know he trapped. See, when I told you about that hook being snatched, that's what I meant. You know, snatched him. See, when bruh took the job, he took the job hoping that it would be able to solidify his base so he can continue to get his money and make a little bit more money. He had no idea that he had been manipulated and used like this. He had no idea that bruh was the one that recommended his name to them people. He had no idea that he was being groomed to be a mole inside of GD. He didn't know that. He didn't know that. And he didn't want to do it. And he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. And fear washed all over him. So the next day, he go to work. And he's real quiet. He ain't talking much. The D-Boy chairman know what's going on, right? And he asked him, are you all right? And he was just blunt and honest with the D-Boy chairman. He said, man, I don't like this. And the D-Boy chairman asked him, what is it that you don't like about what you're doing? I don't want this job no more. And the D-Boy chairman told him, you can quit whenever you want to quit. Ain't nobody making you do it. And Skunk shot off on him and said, you know I can't quit. The D-Boy chairman looked at him and laughed. He said, look, in this game, you got to pick a side, man. Sometimes people like you, they need a little nudge. We just nudged you. Your own brother did it. See, when we asked your brother for a name, we didn't say who it had to be. We just wanted somebody that he felt like would play ball. And he picked you. I don't know why. Skunk looked at him. He ain't even really knowing what to say. He just mad. But the D-Boy chairman ain't got time to be worrying about his feelings. He said, look, this is what I need you to do. This is what I need you to do. I need you to go find out who his real mule is. Now, we got this name. And we got this name on good source. But we got to find out if it's true or not. And you're going to find out. Skunk looked at him. He said, man, I just barely got away this time. How am I going to find out? He said, you're going to have to get in there. You're going to have to get in there. Find a way to make up with that brother. You feel me? Find a way to make up with him, even if it costs you. But you need to get this information for us. Skunk looked at him, not knowing what to say and how to act. And he just got up and he just walked out of the office. He was dumbfounded. They didn't care about nothing that he was going through. They didn't care about that this could cost him his life. They didn't care about none of that. And one of his own is the one that set him on this course. Nobody cared about him. And that's what I want y'all to understand about this life. The more you play it, the reality of it is going to dawn on you and set in. You are on your own when you're in the penitentiary and you playing games. You are only as good as you are good to the prison economy. If you have no use, you have no use. And that's it. Once he became a D-Boy chairman, his own greed undermined him. They gave him enough rope to hang himself. And now, he's got to figure out how to get off the hook. He got to figure it out, because if he don't, he could get hurt bad, really bad. Because now, they putting him in a situation where he better find out something. And if he don't find out, somebody gonna leak a name, and next thing you know, the pressure comes. That's how they burn you. They gonna put his name out there that he working with them. If he ain't no use to him, what they keeping him around for? They're trying to stop the flow of narcotics into the institution, and he gonna help them. And if he got to take down one of his own, they don't care. So guess what? He comes to me. He comes to me. And he confides in me, and he tells me everything. And I sit there, and now keep in mind, I'm out of rotation. This is early on, right? I hadn't been gone that long. So I still got those ways, you feel me? And I'm disgusted with him. I'm looking at him, he's, you sucker, you weak. And he started to break down. And I said, nah, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. And he said, Joe T, help me, man. Help me figure this out. And I looked at him, and for a while, I started to toss him to the wolves. You feel me? I started to toss him to the wolves, but I told him, I said, look, if you want to know what I said to him, tune into the next episode, right? This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.
I'm getting so tired.